The lighting's not going to be good for this video. I have a candle here. It's not that bright, but that's okay. I'm going to make this quickly, and I'm just going to get straight to the point. The reason I'm making this video is because I have found a way to more or less get off of short form content, and it has worked for me for the last few months. So I will quickly go over what has really helped me and what I think could help you if you have a similar condition to what I have, or similar environment. So the first thing, your phone. This is a bad thing. This is the devil. Not literally, but like phones. I hate the phone market because people are still buying bigger phones. I don't know why, but it has something to do with wanting to consume more content. So if you buy a smaller phone, I don't know if you're gonna go out of your way that much to buy a different phone than what you already have. That's a big hump to cross, and I only got there after really thinking about it for a long time. Anyway, smaller phone, that's one thing. The next thing is actually the thing that's on your phone. This right here. If you have an Android, you will know that this doesn't look like what a normal Android looks like, and that's because if you didn't know, if you have an Android, the launcher itself, the home screen, that is an application itself, and you can change that application to whatever you want it to be, really, as long as it's a launcher application. Maybe you could set the launcher to something that isn't a launcher application, but I don't know why you'd want to do that, unless you wanted to have a phone that was like dedicated toward Fortnite or something. Anyway, change your launcher application. This one right here is called Mu Launcher. It's not MU Launcher, it's the Greek symbol Mu Launcher. I just searched Mu Launcher with MU, and it comes up because I don't have Mu on my keyboard. But this is available through the F-Droid store. F-Droid store, this is a store where you can get open source stuff, free cool stuff that doesn't have ads. Support those people. Anyway, it is on here. It is on F-Droid. It's called Mu Launcher. Get it. And what essentially this allows you to do is, not only is it more simple than your average launcher, but if you want Spotify, boom, Spotify. What else do I want? Well, I want like freaking maps or something. There you go. If I want a browser, swipe down. Basically, all of the settings in this application, if you care about speed and efficiency, all of your gestures and stuff can be mapped to specific apps. So why does this improve, or why does this make it less likely for you to use your phone for scrolling Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts? Well, I will tell you. It's because you start to look at your phone more as a tool. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't have regular Instagram on my phone. That's something else that I want to get into. I don't have regular Instagram on my phone. I'm basically just like schizophrenically ranting here. But you can see I have Instagram on my phone. It's right there. I don't care. But if I go on Instagram, you see my freaking homepage. It's blank. You can't access your homepage. You can't access Explore. You can't access Reels. The only thing I can access here is my DMs. That's all I use it for. This is called distraction-free Instagram. So if you have Android, if you have an iPhone, switch, please. If you have Android, get distraction-free Instagram. You look it up on Google. It's usually the first result. You download an APK for it. You install that APK, and it's good on your phone. That's cool. So I basically never get to go on Reels anymore. And that sort of has to come from a want of not... You gotta not want to go on Instagram Reels in the first place. Or you want to not go on... How do I speak? Okay. You need to have a desire to not go on to Instagram Reels. But once you do have that desire, you download this app, and it allows you to not fall into the trap of just opening Instagram to respond to a message, and then you find yourself scrolling on Reels for a million bajillion years. Now that you have distraction-free Instagram on your phone, how do you view Instagram? Maybe you want to like actually check Instagram. I do that on my computer. I have a separate computer, and it does have Reels on it, but I never go on Reels on my computer, because who does that, right? Who goes on Shorts on their computer? They do it from their phone because it's easy to swipe like this, you know? So nobody really does that on the computer. If you do, I'm sorry. Maybe fix that first. But yeah, distraction-free Instagram, custom launcher, Mu Launcher. That's cool. Once you start using your phone as a tool, like MuLauncher sort of dictates. Am I making sense? I asked myself that already. Don't worry. YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is another big one that I was hooked on for a while. And not only did I delete YouTube Shorts as an app, I also couldn't help myself. So I logged in on my browser on my phone, even though it's a worse experience. And then I was scrolling through YouTube Shorts on the browser on my phone. So what did I do? I took my main browser, which is Kiwi Browser. Kiwi Browser is the only browser, or one of the only browsers on the Play Store. I don't have the Play Store. I have the Aurora Store because it's de-Googled. Anyway, the only browser on the Play Store that allows you to have extensions. Companies don't want you to be able to put extensions on your phone browser for whatever reason, but I say screw it. Get one that has the ability to download extensions, because that way I don't think I even use extensions. Hold on. What do I do? I go to settings. I go to, where is it? Site settings. JavaScript. Yeah, and in JavaScript, I don't know if you can see this. I have youtube.com blocked in my main browser. So, JavaScript does not work. If you don't have JavaScript enabled for a site, it will not work if it's YouTube. Basically, static sites that don't use JavaScript obviously will still work. But I have specifically YouTube blocked for JavaScript because I discovered that it just doesn't function at all if JavaScript isn't enabled. But if I do want to go on Instagram on my phone, I do. I have Brave browser on here, but it's so much more work to freaking swipe and then click and then log in, go to YouTube on that browser. So what do I do when I want to search something? I swipe down, and that is my browser. And on that browser, I don't have access to YouTube. So a lot of times what people do is they go to look something up and then they're like, oh, I might as well check YouTube while I'm on this browser. I can't do that. I have to physically swipe up, go to Brave, search in YouTube, and that's so much more work. So it just doesn't happen. So I don't go onto YouTube Shorts and I don't go onto Instagram Reels. If I want to on my computer, I can. That's not against, I'm not saying it's the end of the world if I do that, but it's good to have a healthy relationship with these forms of content because they're really insidious and they're really, I guess, predatory in that way. Because they want to, they're trying to get as much attention out of you as possible. That's bad. Don't let that happen. And the way that happens, though, is because you form habits, you know? It's like your brain takes the path of least resistance with the action potentials that occur in the brain and, you know, all that stuff. So basically, if things are related in your brain, which they are, like if going on a browser is also in close proximity to the circuit in your brain that also is responsible for you to click YouTube and search in YouTube, those things are going to overlap a lot, and there's going to be a large probability that if you're in one, like if you're in search up a cool fact on the internet mode, your brain is going to switch over to look something up on YouTube mode because those things are so close together. So don't let that happen. You know, sever that connection so that there's more effort in order for you to do the bad thing, do the bad habit, go on YouTube and look at shorts, or go on Instagram and look at reels. I don't have TikTok. I've never had TikTok, and I don't plan on ever downloading TikTok because it's literally just the bad parts of social media with none of the good parts of social media. So if you have TikTok, that's, I would say, like, if you gotta delete TikTok, man. You gotta delete TikTok. So, phone. I think that's about it that I want to talk about for this phone. This phone is done. No more. What I also want to talk about, though, is decentralizing your phone. Don't use your phone for everything. Use, you know, like, get yourself a camera. You know, it doesn't have to be a nice camera like this one. It could be a smaller camera that doesn't work as well. But have something else for taking pictures, because not only will you enjoy taking pictures more, but you'll end up taking more pictures because you don't really pull this thing out to take pictures unless you need to. With this, I like taking it out and taking videos, taking pictures, like what I'm doing right now. I would never do this on my phone, even though my phone has the capability of doing so. So, decentralize that. Decentralize your calendar. I have a open source calendar that's running on a server somewhere that I connect to through this. And I need to have some long form place where I could put my important dates and stuff. But for weekly stuff, I use this Moleskine. This is flexible, and this goes in my pocket. I have work pants that have extra pockets, so I can put this in here, and it fits fine. And a pen. So write stuff down, you know? If you need to take notes, boom. If you need to plan events, which I've had to use this a lot actually, because life has gotten a whole lot more busy. But also, journal. Not everybody journals, that's okay. But instead of using the notes app on your phone to write diary entries, you know, get a nice journal that you enjoy using. I enjoy using this. It's a nice Moleskine. It's made well. It's beautiful. This is one of my favorite pens. I won't get into that right now. But if I'm picking up this more, I am not picking up this more. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. Cato, reading should be done on a designated device like this. Better experience. You're not going on your phone as much. So, and to go back to what I was saying before, if you are looking and reading stuff on your phone, maybe it's on the internet. You're now on the internet. It's just another reason for you to go on the internet and then be in a situation where it's likely that your brain mode is going to flip into going onto YouTube mode. So don't do that. Get away from that as much as possible. And so with these things, I have discovered that I go on my phone less. I also don't go on YouTube as much as a result of that. I still go on YouTube a lot on this. And I found that in order to get away from that, I just do more stuff. Be a more interesting person. And then the less YouTube will follow after doing that. You know? Like, I just bought a blanket. I bought a wool blanket, and I just bought freaking a ton of dye for it. I bought 3 boxes of dark green dye for the blanket, so this is RIT. I got this off Amazon. Hopefully it works. I was gonna do that tonight, but I might just push that off till tomorrow because I'm too tired. Had a long day. The candle is beautiful, by the way. Look at that. Wow. I just love that. Anyway. Long day, so I don't want to do stuff that's mission critical in a tired state because that's a recipe for disaster. Always get good sleep if you can. So, what did I cover in today's video? Smaller phone if possible. Android definitely. If you're an iPhone user, you're basically doomed because you can't do anything about it. They've locked you into an environment, which was their plan all along, and now you're just sitting there in their walled garden like a loser, like an idiot, because you bought their product. I can't believe you'd spend freaking $1,500 on a freaking phone that you can't freaking own. Anyway, Android, smaller phone if possible. With Android, you can get distraction-free Instagram, cut out all the reels, cut out all the explore page, cut out all the feed. You can control what you can keep access to and retain, but I just cut everything out except DMs because that's all I want to use Instagram for. I'd completely cut out Instagram altogether if it weren't for the fact that I talk to some people on Instagram still. So, do that. Distraction-free Instagram. Another launcher. This is Mew Launcher, the one that I showed you that has all the swipe gestures to make your phone more of a tool than a consumption device. And then decentralization. Pick up a book. This is a yearly planner, and I'd say it's sufficient for what I needed. Become more busy. Become a busy person. Do more things. And, you know, I'm thinking of a Bo Burnham quote where he was talking about, he was in an interview or something, like some late night show, or I can't remember, but he was, the topic of kids being on their phones came up, and he said, well, can you really blame them? Like, look at this world we have created for kids. And can you really blame them for not wanting to look up at this trash garbage fire that we've created for them to surround themselves in? And I agree with that. Like, the world is terrible. The world is awful. Why would you want to look up from your screen? But if you look up from your screen, you could see some good stuff in the world. Or you can make good stuff in the world. You know? You can start making the good. So start making the good. Alright. That'll do for today's video. Hopefully that helps. Bye.